That's what I think about New Year's.
I'm not really sure what to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Yeah, we're back at it. Friday Morning Live.
Here we go. First Friday of the new year. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop.
What kind of noise is that?
Just a noise that I make.
All right. So we're talking about New Year's. New Year's stuff.
Stop. Are
No.
you avoiding that word?
No one really wants to talk about New Year's resolutions.
No.
No, do they?
We kind of talked about it briefly. If you watched our live at Simply for Life with Mila, we kind of briefly talked about New Year's resolutions and how just don't do them. Right? When we talked a little bit about goal setting, and I read this really good, I don't know if it was a quote or what, from Poise Fitness actually, which is one of our fitness friends in LA, and they said, don't resolve, evolve.
Ooh.
And I really, really like that. Really stuck to me. I really liked that one because for me, resolutions has kind of a negative
Flavor.
feeling about it. You know, a resolution to me means something has to end and before something else can start. You know what I mean? But it's not, to me, it's not about ending anything. It's not about changing yourself. It's about evolving. Think about the caterpillar turning into a butterfly.
Oh my gosh, here
It's
we go.
about evolving. The caterpillar is still the caterpillar, but just in a different form. It's evolving into something. You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea.
Is that too deep for you?
Does anyone know what she's talking about?
Yeah.
She's talking all kinds of craziness.
But it's really that's what it is to me. But it's not just because it's a new year. I think it's something that is that we do on a continual basis, or should do on a continual basis.
Okay, I could agree with that. That we should continually.
You could agree with it. That means he doesn't really agree with it.
I could agree with that. You can keep talking.
Well, I was hoping for you to chime in on it.
I am just sharing this post. That's what I'm doing. I think that for us to evolve, I think that we always evolve.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Your turn.
I think that we always evolve in some way or another. Like we're always changing and adapting. I feel like we always get better and always improve on our life. So I could agree that like this year isn't really ending and it's like a new beginning. It's like we're just kind of improving on what we've already accomplished, and then the new year comes and it's like more of an opportunity to continue to get better.
Mm-hmm. That's where you are standing about that.
What else you got?
Well, I don't know, Drew. That's why I was hoping you would say something different.
Ooh, okay. So let us know if you guys are doing any New Year's resolutions in the comments below. Most people don't want to talk about New Year's resolutions, which is fine. But that's why we're here to talk about resolution. Like no one really wants to talk about goals. I'm not sure why. Like I think there's a giant fear of failure, and people are worried about like, you know, there's the thing like if I don't set any goals, then there's no expectations. If there's no expectations, then I'll never fail.
Yeah.
So I'm never a failure.
You know what's funny is I personally don't really get too excited about a new year. Do you?
Yeah, no, I don't get too excited about New Year. It's like
I was like almost feeling guilty when it was New Year's Day that I wasn't excited that it was a new year. Because, I don't know, it just feels like, it doesn't feel right that just because it's a new year, you should change everything.
Yeah, I don't think anyone changes anything.
Yeah. Is that the problem with New Year's resolutions?
Well, we don't change. Things don't change. Like our life doesn't change. Like it's New Year. Like everything's gonna change. We don't change our habits, and if you don't change your habits and turn them into lifestyle adjustments, your life is gonna be the same.
That's right.
So I think people are like all excited and like, oh, it's a brand new year. I'm gonna make some changes, and it's not like a sustainable change.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you never work out, people are like, okay, I'm going to start working out 6 days a week. and like they have no plan, no idea, no coach or mentor, like fitness group, nothing. So they go and like work out 5 or 6 times. Then the next week it's 3 or 4 times. Next week it's 1 or 2 times, and then it's done. So in hindsight, what I'm saying is no one changes.
Yeah. You know what I think too? Like that whole don't resolve, evolve, that goes back to that too. You have to evolve, like slowly move into new things. It's not like just like, oh, it's a new year, like I'm going to change everything all at once, right? So if you take the workout example for instance, we see all the time, new year, people are motivated that it's a new year, and people that, you know, haven't worked out before, like we're just using that as an example, jump into it 5 or 6 times a week, and then it's too much, right? So we need to slowly evolve into that. Try 1 workout a week, 2 workouts a week, and then evolve into it over time, as opposed to just wham, bam, resolution done.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Wham, bam.
What's up, Jessica? Jessica's in here.
Hey, Jessica.
Be nice to know who else is in here. We see there's a handful of you watching, but we can't tell unless you leave a comment. So
that's right.
Let us know where you're at and where you're watching from, and that'll get some conversation going.
It's almost shocking when we say, yeah, we're not big resolution people.
Yeah, well, I don't think anybody is. Because it's crazy, like, anytime we ask a question on social media about goals, no one says anything. Like, if you ask about resolutions, not like there's very few people that are like, this is what I'm going to do.
And then, where does it come from?
That's a good question. But I think there's two reasons. Is that 1, that no one's doing it, and 2, that no one wants to publicly share because there's a fear of failure.
And that's one of the things in, like, our monthly membership, or when we are working with new clients or new people, that we say one of the number 1 things that sets people apart from being successful and non-successful are those people who share, like, what they're doing and share their journey and share their goals, because it brings about a new level of accountability. If you've told everybody that you're going to run a marathon this year and you have like an exact date of when that's happening and you sign up for one, then, and you tell family, you tell friends, you tell coworkers, they come asking you about how it's going.
And that's where the fear comes in, right?
That's where the fear comes in.
It's like, oh, what am I going to say if someone asks me and I'm not doing it anymore?
Right? So that's why people don't share. But the number 1 way to make yourself accountable is to share and let people know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you have to do that if you want to set goals.
You can't keep it a secret, right? Your goals.
Yeah.
You can't keep a secret.
Well, Jessica says, I'm not excited over... You want to read that?
She says, I agree. I'm not excited over New Year's and making goals for myself either, but I do get excited to see what the new year brings to our family. Yeah, we're not saying that we're grumpy or Grinches about the new year either, but we just feel like it's a continuation rather than, you know, a resolution makes me feel like that's ended and now we have to do something new, but I just feel like it's continually moving forward.
Yeah, and we should probably mention that we set goals all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, we set goals, we have weekly goals, we have monthly goals, we have financial goals, business goals, personal goals.
Goals are very important.
So, like, we have things that we work towards on a continual basis. Like, and if you don't have that, like, that's why we talk about, like, if you don't have an accountability partner, if you don't have someone that you can talk to about it, then it makes it really challenging to work towards what you're trying to work towards. Like, if you have no idea where you're going, like, you know, there's a lot of people that are like, what do you want out of life? Like, I don't know. Or like, what are you working towards? Like, meh. Like, so if you
just
don't,
through the motions.
Yeah, like, I think a lot of people like almost feel like they're sleeping through life. Like, if you don't know what you're working towards, then how can you work towards it? Mm-hmm. And if you're not working towards anything, what are you doing? What's up, Allie?
Allie's in here. Hey, Allie. Allie says, I don't really have a New Year's resolution. It's more of a lifestyle goal for 2020. Like it.
Awesome, Allie.
I love that. And that's what we're all about as well. You know, like, Jessica's known us for a long time. Allie's in our monthly membership, and she's a family member. She's my cousin. So, like, you guys know that that's what we're all about. It's lifestyle changes. We're not about the fads or the diets or the quick fixes. It's all about making those small progressive changes and evolving
Into a butterfly.
Into a butterfly. But then once you're the butterfly, then what?
Then you gotta turn into a lion. Rawr.
Oh dear.
I don't know. I think it's okay. Like,
any of you seen a butterfly turn to a lion?
well, it'd be embarrassing for the lion to tell his friends that you see a butterfly, so no one would know. I think it's okay. Like, there has to be a balance, because if you, and I learned this from my playing days.
Or playing
as an athlete, like, if you don't appreciate where you are, you're going to miss it. And I spent a lot of my professional days missing what I have accomplished and what I am accomplishing in that day, in that moment. So, like, even though, like, we traveled quite a bit throughout this Christmas, and we were fortunate to have something to look forward to. Like, every couple of weeks, it was like new friends and family, new location. But if you don't, and like every day, we had this conversation. Like, every day I was trying to appreciate that moment and that place where we were at, because it was going to be over.
It's going to end.
Sooner than later, it's going to end. So it's the same thing when I was playing. Like, I wish I appreciated the days more instead of always looking to the future. What's next? And I run into that a bit in business. I'm always like, instead of appreciating what we have now, I'm always like, what's next? What can we accomplish next? So there has to be a balance. Like, so when I say, when people, like, if you're not working towards anything, it's not like you're not living life like you should. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you have to find a happy medium of, like, working towards your happiness, whatever that is, and then you have to find
an appreciation.
Thank you.
Of where you are.
If you find that appreciation, that's where you can find your happiness, like, in the sweet spot.
In the balance. You know what I do like is I like setting an intention or a word, like, for the new year, and we do it more. We don't just more often, but it's not just like, oh, it's the new year, I need a word for this year and this year only. But one thing that I'm bringing into the new year that I started, like, in the fall, or maybe even later in, like, November-ish, was changing my thinking from being so results driven. Like, I always am focusing my energy on the results and measuring my accomplishments or my success by the results, instead of appreciating appreciating that moment, like Drew was saying. So I really started focusing more on relationships, and, like, with clients, with friends, with family, and building that with my big word. Okay, I have to change my measuring of success from being so results driven to something else, because it drives you mad, drives you crazy. Yeah.
And you miss out on, like, those small accomplishments if it's, like, always like, what is my end goal, or, like, what am I working towards?
And you're never going to be happy with the results. You get the results, and then you want more results, right? So it doesn't matter what level of the ladder you're on, or what skill you're at. You're always going to want more, so you're never going to be happy.
And
go ahead.
That's why we don't like the scale, is because we're like, don't jump on the scale. It's not going to do anything for you, because we don't have a goal. Like, nothing, like, that number's not going to make us happy. If we're like, I want to lose 10 pounds in a week or 2 months, whatever you feel is reasonable, and you lose those 10 pounds, and you don't have, like, that, like, that's not the goal. The goal is what it's going to give you. Like, it's going to give me more comfort. It's going to give me more confidence. It's going to make me feel better in my clothes. Like, that's what you're working towards. And the weight loss is a byproduct of that. So when people are like, oh, I just want to lose 10 pounds. Once you lose those 10 pounds,
it's not going to be enough.
You're going to. So then you step on the scale again, and you're like, oh, I didn't lose 10 pounds again. So then that happiness brings misery, which is one of the Buddhist teachings that I was working with these Buddhists, and that was a really challenging mindset to understand, is that your happiness brings you unhappiness. So never be happy.
But I'd be curious to know if any of you had like one word that you're focusing on right now, and maybe not just because it's the new year, but because that's what you do. But my words, well, I actually couldn't choose just one word, so my 2 words is relationships.
This year?
Or connections.
Or last year?
Well, I'm continuing it on. Like, I started with that word in the fall, like connections, relationships, but I don't want to have a new word just because it's the new year, because I feel like it's not done yet. That's still something I need to work on. But one word that I've added is being patient as well.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because results are going to come. They are. If you put in the work. If you keep putting the work in day after day after day after day, the results are going to come.
They can't not come.
Right.
If you are persistent in the path that you set out for yourself, and you know, like many times we say that there's a proven, we got this from Tony Robbins, there's a proven path to success. You just have to follow that path. Mm-hmm. And for everyone, it's at different times, but many times it's the same path. Mm-hmm. So if you follow that path and you keep putting in the work, you're going to reach your goal.
Yeah.
And the problem is most people give up before they reach it.
Yeah. So if you put in the work and keep putting in the work, the results are going to come. But it's just that lots of times they don't come as fast as we want. So I like that. I don't know what it's called, like a proverb or whatever was it the bamboo tree?
Yeah.
I love that one because it's about how the bamboo tree grows, and for years and years and years and years and years, it is growing under the surface of the earth, right? And nobody sees anything. There's no but you have to keep it's down there. It's in the making. It's growing. So you have to keep putting into the work, keep giving it sunlight, keep giving it water, keep nurturing it. And then over a short amount of time, it's done all this work underground, and then a short amount of time, it grows super high. So all of that work that's happening below the surface does spurt into big results, but a lot of people will give up before the big spurt.
Where did you hear that from?
I heard it from you. Where did you hear it from? Do you think it's funny when I retell your stories?
Yes.
I think it's lovely. Because I think I retell stories a little bit better.
I don't even know what to say. I like how you...
I put more energy and more hand talking into it. When Drew tells a story, it's like...
Oh my gosh.
And then when I tell a story, it's like this.
I am very engaging, thank you.
Oh,
hey, Sherry.
My goodness.
Sherry Lewis says, good morning, amazing couple.
Aw, hey Sherry, thank you.
Good morning,
to
you. Thank you for tuning in and joining us on this lovely Friday morning.
I think Chantal shared her word.
What's Chantal's word?
Happiness. I love that. I just feel like having a word that's guiding or leading you or a focus that you're focused on putting your energy into, I just really like that.
Remember we had, in the past, we had year of syndication.
Yes.
So we had year of syndication. So we were working on syndicating the radio show. And I think that it didn't follow the path that we thought, but that brought us to
different area. 7
stations across Canada, which is pretty cool. So that was we'd always be kind of messing around with the year of syndication.
We've had quite a few.
We had automation.
The year of automation.
And we joke around with it and play with it. I think people are so serious with their words and things they're working towards. It's what the thing is I would like to be on TV more. I would and I don't share that often enough, but I would like to spend more time.
I think you should share your big goal. Just get it out there. I don't think he's ready, but
I've said it before. I just don't say it out. One of my biggest goals is to
say it loud and proud. Loud and proud.
One of my biggest goals is to have a late night TV show, you know how you have Jimmy Fallon or
Jimmy Kimmel,
or we grew up with David Letterman or Jay Leno. So I think it'd be pretty cool to have my own late night TV show.
Loud and proud.
That's my goal.
You didn't say it proudly, did you? Kind of said it silently.
I have I sat down. Dorothy will do hers soon.
Soon. I haven't done mine yet.
It's funny. I sat down and I wrote down the things that I want to work towards, and the things that maybe quietly I have been working towards, or we have been working towards. But I just feel like it's not like then that's why we share this with you, because we go through these personal things in our own lives, but you don't share them often enough or loud enough so enough people hear you. And I always say, like when entrepreneurs ask me for advice, I say that if you share a message that you believe often enough and loud enough, people are going to start to believe you.
And when we first started like dreaming big or thinking big, it was like, what if people think we're crazy, right? What if people think we're nuts?
Or if they don't believe you.
Or if they don't believe us. But now I look at Drew and I think, when has that ever stopped us? Or when have we ever cared, right? Like, so I just don't ever think that your dream is too big or too crazy. Be crazy.
It should
Get
be
crazy.
It should be like there should be doubt there. There should be fear. So when I was writing my list out, there was about 5 big things on that list, and I was like, man, I was just like, I wrote it out, and I was like emotionally exhausted for a moment, being like, how am I ever going to make this happen? But I feel like if you write that stuff down, like first of all, taking action, like putting pen to paper, makes a big difference. But if you write that down and you look at it and you're like, oh, that's easy, I could do that tomorrow. It's not worthwhile. It's not big enough to work towards. We have some comments here.
Sherry. Oh, Chantel's word is happiness.
Oh, I got that.
That's a great one.
Thanks, Chantel. Thanks for sharing with us.
Thank you for sharing. If anyone else wants to share their word for going into the new year, what their focus is, we'd love to hear. Sherry says, my word is tenacious because I often give in to the thought I can't do it. But this year I am holding on to my dream. That's awesome.
Awesome, Sherry. Do you want to share your dream with us?
Yes, I would love to know.
I shared mine.
Okay. You know what, you guys? I'm going to get out there and share.
Oh, Dorothy's getting crazy.
But it's really hard. Okay, so.
I don't even know it. Do I know it?
Oh, you know it. But I don't think you've taken me so seriously on it before. It's hard.
You got?
I always say that in my next life that I would like to be a triple threat, because all through like when I was a little girl and when I was like in high school and things, I always loved like the stage and loved performing, but I never believed in myself that I could do it. So like I always liked drama club. I was like singing, acting, dancing. I was in different types of dancing for years, and I always loved being on the stage, but I never ever believed in myself that I was any good at it. And so then I always would say to Drew, you know what, in my next life, I am going to be a triple threat. I'm going to sing, I'm going to dance, and I'm going to act.
And what do I say?
And Drew always says, do it, like, why would you wait?
I said, what about this life?
What about this life? So that is my big goal. I want to be on stage.
What kind of stage?
Broadway.
You want to be on a Broadway stage?
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know. Why not? We're moving to New York.
Sounds crazy.
See you guys. We have to move again. I think that's awesome.
That was hard to share.
It is hard to share. And I think it should be if it's something that's easy to share.
Well, it sounds crazy.
It does sound crazy.
But that is my big dream.
Okay.
Drew wants his own show. I want to be on Broadway.
Let's see what you guys got. Does anyone else want to share? Did I read Sherry's word? Yeah, tenacious. Allie?
Transform is my word of the year.
Ooh.
I like that. Like the butterfly.
Transform. What was our tagline?
I don't know what
Transform
you're
into your true self. You don't remember that?
Evolve?
No.
No? I don't know what he's talking about.
I think that was our original True Form logo. Or I'm gonna check on the website.
Transformations through running? I don't know. Chantel says, Drew, you would make an amazing late night show.
Thank you, Chantel. That means a lot. I really mean that. I'm gonna do it.
Oh, I like what Sherry says here. Other people's opinions of me is none of my business. I love that one. And I know it's super hard for a lot of people. And it was hard for me at first, too. But that's one of my favorite, favorite things.
It's one of your phrases this year. Instead of a word, it's a phrase.
It's a phrase. But I've been working on that for a while myself, Sherry. Is like reminding myself, because I get so caught up in, I think we all do, like get caught up about what other people's opinions are of us, or what they think of us, or if I do this, what are people going to say? What are people going to think of me? Or blah, 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 blah. It just goes on and on and on. But then I always have to go back to that one. It's not my business.
I have to remind you.
Drew has to remind me. It's hard, but it's a good one.
A good one. Thanks for sharing that, Sherry. It is none of your business, though.
It is.
Like, it's none of your business. Really, like in a serious conversation, like what someone thinks or even what someone says, unless they're like tearing down your reputation or business. Like what someone thinks or says about you, it does, like, who cares? It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. It's none of your business. It's their business. Why they feel like they must say things about you. Mm-hmm. Like when someone says some things about another person, they're talking about themselves. And in most cases, you know what? That's that really good book that we read, and it was like had no cover. Remember? It had no cover. And it was like,
what was that one? Oh.
But that had like some really good
like
teachings.
Rules to Live By or something it was called.
Yeah. But
it had some good teachings in it.
It said something like that, like you're speaking to a mirror. Like anytime you like put someone down, those are things about yourself in your own life that you don't like about you, and you're just trying to portray that on someone else.
And you know what else that I have been thinking about more often too is like if we're engaging in that, or we're listening to that, like gossip, let's say, or if we know somebody or have someone in our life that is always doing, like, portraying that behavior, I always think, oh man, if they're going to say that about that person, what are they saying to me about me when I'm not there?
Right. Yeah, so that's how we have to consider, like, I don't know if you read it, Sherry, but I wrote on my personal page, it went pretty well, got like over 100 likes and a bunch of comments, and I said, tenaciously remove toxic people from your lives. And that's what we have to continually do. So if those people are in our lives talking about, like, we don't like gossiping or like talking about other people. If you're talking about other people, those people are usually talking about you when you're not around, and you don't want those type of people in your life.
And it's funny because we all like I think it's just like natural, like a human trait, like we fall into that trap sometimes. One of the words that one of our words a few years back that we carried through is the word nanya. And it's so funny because now we have my parents saying it, nanya. It's none of your business, right? Like how other people make decisions or how they choose to live, like that's nanya. None of your business.
You can use that word at home if you like.
So it's just a made-up word. Actually, this morning over breakfast, we had this big conversation about how to spell Nanya with my parents. Because my mom is very structured and needs to know those things, and we're like, I don't know how to spell. It's not even a word. She gets like the pad paper out. Hey, let's break this down. How do we spell it?
It was fun.
But anyway, when you fall into a trap, then that's a nice word to kind of get you out of it. It's like, ooh, nanya. We do it to each other all the time. For like, if I came home and was like, oh my gosh, I was at the grocery store and this lady, Drew would look at me and he'd be like, that's nanya. I'd be like, ooh, you're right. Shut it down.
But that's nice that we have each other to be like, snap out of it.
Yeah, just one little word. It's like, ooh, yeah.
Let's read some of these.
Yeah, thank you for your comments, you guys. We also really like the hearts. So if you're sitting, listening, and enjoying what you're hearing, hit that hearts button for us. We love that.
What does it say?
That's what Sherry said. Other people's opinions of me is none of my business. And then way to be brave and vulnerable. Ooh.
Sherry, Dorothy, now you have to take action steps towards it.
I know, but that's the hard part. Well, you do live in California. Dreams come true.
Thanks, Chantal.
Thank you, Chantal.
And, that's something that I think some people think that kind of happened overnight. Like and like when we talk about goals, and we had in the past, one of our things that we always talked about was how do we get to California? Because we loved visiting and we loved vacationing, we loved working there, and so we had to decide. We had to make that conscious decision and have numerous, hundreds of conversations of like, how can we have our own place in California?
It was at least 5 years, right?
Maybe work towards it.
At least. Could have been more.
And it's
like,
still
consciously like working on it.
Mm-hmm.
We're still working on it.
But often we talk, like the things that we talk about and the intentions that we put out there and the goals that we set, there's very few things that we say, this is what I want to accomplish, or what we want to accomplish together, that haven't happened. And if they are, they just haven't happened yet.
I always say, like, if you want something bad enough, you will make it happen. If you don't make it happen, or it doesn't happen for you, then you don't want it bad enough. That's what I always think. But with the California, like living in California, like there was no room for no. Like it was happening. And we did have to make a lot of, I don't like the word sacrifices, but we did have to, I guess, let go of a lot of things or change a lot of things to make that happen.
Can we see your sacrifice face again? Thank you.
Sacrifices?
Okay, that's enough.
I don't like that word. I don't know. It's like negative or something. But like, it wasn't luck that we landed there. It was a lot of hard work and a lot of commitment.
One of my least favorite things is like, oh, you're so lucky you're there. And I'm like,
we worked our asses off for this.
luck is like, I picture, and I'm sure that's not what they mean, but I picture luck as like an accident. Like, oops, I tripped and landed in Los Angeles. Sweet, I get to go to the beach every day. No. And when we're not at the beach, we are finding every possible way to stay there and continue to grow our business.
To be there. Yeah. You have to become comfortable being uncomfortable. I like that one too.
That's one of my favorites.
So we became really good at being uncomfortable. A lot of things that we did to make that dream come true were very uncomfortable for us. And a lot of people would tell us, oh, I could never do that. Mm-hmm. Right? But we wanted that so bad that we were,
okay being
uncomfortable. Drew actually said that to me. Okay, like in our beginning stages of making the transition, you better get comfortable being uncomfortable because.
So and then challenges would come up, and then that's when we'd have the conversation of like, this is the uncomfortable ability.
And you adapt and you adjust to your new comfort, your new normal. Yeah. We just get so used to doing the same thing or having the same things over and over and over. Like that changing it doesn't seem possible. Right?
Get comfortable. Mm-hmm. Get comfortable being comfortable. Mm-hmm. Don't get comfortable being comfortable. Let's see, we have some more comments. Thank you guys for the comments. We love them.
We love your comments.
What is this? Where am I at?
You are at Sherry.
This one?
She says, yes, Drew would be fantastic.
Thanks, Sherry.
He would. He will be.
I'm doing it. Oh, look how tiny that one got.
Ooh. And then Sherry says, I'm the queen of... Oh, it's so tiny, Drew. I am the queen of what will others think, but when I look at how it's held me back, it's sad. We will keep working on it. Yeah, I know.
You're not alone, though, Sherry. Like, we appreciate you sharing with us and our audience. Like, I think everyone at some point is like that or was like that.
I don't think it ever completely goes away. And I think everybody knows somebody that's like, I don't care what people think. I do what I want. But on some level, it's like, yeah, you do. Or like you said, you did in the past, or at some point in your life.
Work through it.
You have to work through it. But I'm not sure that it truly ever, I think you get better at it, but I think it's something that's always kind of there.
Well, that's where it comes in from when you have those moments. And I'm I'm pretty good at it, but I've been working on it for years.
Pretty good at it.
But I still have my moments, but it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I want this, and what they think of this doesn't matter. There's no connection there. So when Dorothy gets wound up and has the conversation oh my gosh, I heard this, so and so said that, I'm it doesn't matter. That is not going to bring us happiness. It's not going to bring us to our goals. Stop it. Right? Mm-hmm. That's not going to do anything for us.
I think it depends too a lot on your personality type. I'm definitely pleaser, right?
Yeah.
Like I want everyone to be happy, and I want everyone to like us, like what we're doing, but it's just not realistic, right? Like, so that's hard for a people pleaser.
It is. What's the next one we got?
I was seeing if there was more comments.
This one here.
Yes. Bernie Brown says, unless you are in the arena getting your bleep kicked, they get no say. Boom.
I think it's boom.
Boom. Did I do it?
No.
Boom.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, maybe you should just
You
do
get it.
that.
The ooh.
Boom. No? Still no go? Boom.
Okay, I think you need to stop. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I heard that one other time. I haven't got into Brene Brown, but I know she has like a monstrous following. But yeah, like if someone is not in your shoes, it's difficult. Like, so you deal with criticism all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like we deal with criticism all the time. And like we don't hide it, but we don't openly share it. Like if someone sends us like an angry message,
which happens, you guys.
It happens, or someone doesn't like your product. Like we have product that you ingest.
Yes.
So if someone doesn't like the flavor or the taste, that's a form of rejection. If people don't like, and they're like, oh, it doesn't do anything for me, that's a form of rejection. Like we deal with that on a regular basis because we create and develop our own products and services. So. There's people that are outside of your arena, I suppose, and they are criticizing in a way. But I think even people in your field, like even people that you're maybe competing with or working with, or like I don't really care what they think or say. Like if they don't appreciate what we do, like it's not really my business what they think. So we put our efforts somewhere else. Mm-hmm. What else we got?
I was going to say something else, but now I lost it when you went on your little rant.
Love that word. Oh, great.
Love that word, Nanya. I'm pretty sure she's talking about Nanya. Hey, Sherry?
I did read that. It was good. Get rid of,
the toxic people.
Oh, thank you, Sherry.
Yeah.
And then, love that word, Nanya. Yeah.
And then your...
It's fantastic.
We've been using it for quite a few years.
I don't know where it came from, though.
I have no idea. Like, we didn't invent it, right? We heard it somewhere.
No, it was like, let me tell you a little story about Nanya.
Drew still does that to me.
Yeah. She would like, come up, like start, like get frantic and like start telling me something. I'm like, oh, did you know I need to tell you about this little story about Nanya? And
don't pretend he's like getting involved in it, and he'll be like, oh my gosh, did you hear about Nanya? Oh my gosh, let me tell you about when I heard a little story about Nanya.
But she'll stop and listen. And then she'd be like, oh.
Do I ever tell you Nanya?
No, but you could, or you should. But the thing is, like,
he's always telling me.
If you guys are enjoying the show, hit that hearts button. We'd appreciate that.
You know what, you guys? I think on a show we got one of our biggest hearts shows was 200. Or was it more than 200?
It was 2,000.
Hearts?
We used to get lots of hearts. I don't know why the heart train disappeared.
Maybe
we don't ask.
2,000 hearts?
We had 2,000
Thumbs up, hearts. We like them.
They help.
They help us. You know, a lot of people ask us, like, how can we help you, or how can we participate, you know, or if they're like, oh, you know, like, you know, there's lots of things that help a small business or other than just like buying the products, and a lot of it is like online, right? Like hitting the hearts button, hitting the likes button, commenting, liking, sharing, like all of those things mean a lot to us.
I think a lot of people don't know because they like if you don't run a business, you don't really realize.
Yeah.
So like if you share, they say for example, you share this post, that's probably our best compliment because then it gets us, two of us, in front of other people. So then we can maybe some of our words or some of our advice will help them, and that's our goal, is to help people.
Yeah.
And then of course we do this full time. It's not like a hobby. We have our products and services, and that's how we are able to feed ourselves. So it's always nice when you guys support us. So thank you for being here and watching, and thank you for your likes and your hearts. Those mean a lot.
It makes our heart grow. Her heart grew 2 sizes that day. Like the Grinch.
Grinch is my favorite.
I want to see what Brie has to say. Good morning. Hope you guys had a great Christmas and New Year's. Love your inspiration and ability to talk openly about hardships, change in your relationship. Aw, thank you.
Very nice, Brie. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are often tried to portray that we're regular people and we have our own challenges and we have our successes, but I think a lot of times, like, you look at Instagram, for example, and like people only want to talk about how great they are and how much success they found. But if they really are that successful, which is, let me put these around, because I only say that because there's a lot of stuff going around social media of like, buy this package and I'll show you how to make $1 million in a month. And it's like, that's a lie. Stop buying products from those people. Yeah. So I think it's easy to be like, oh my gosh, their life looks so amazing. But we all go through struggles. Like we all deal with failure on a regular basis. Like that's what we do.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that Drew and I really want to be grounded in, and that is really important to us, is just being real, like being real people, right? It was hard for me. It was hard. It's hard at first when you're not used to being on camera, right? To show your real self. Like, I thought I had to be perfect on camera always. When we first started, like, videos, I wouldn't want to talk unless I was, like, saying the right things or being perfect. And Drew's like, people don't want to see that. Like, people don't want to see you being perfect. Like, they want you to see you being you. Or I thought I had to, like, have my hair done perfectly and makeup on. And Drew's like, you don't even wear makeup. Like, why are you putting makeup on just for a video? I'm like, well, I gotta look good. I gotta look my best. And he's like, but that's not you, right? Or I'd have to dress up. And, like, Drew's like, you wear yoga clothes 80% of the time. Like, your workout clothes 80% of the time. You're a comfort person. So, like, that's who you need to be on camera. And I'd be like, it was really hard, right? You feel like you have to be this certain image or portray that to be professional.
Yeah. That was partly my fault too, because this was like, we started, this is 10 years ago we've been doing videos, and like people are just starting to do videos now. It's funny, people are like, oh my gosh, you guys are so good on video. And we're like, first of all, we're just ourselves. We don't like have to be everything perfect, but the other aspect is we've been doing it for so long, it's natural and normal for us. When we started out, Dorothy would be like this.
So uncomfortable.
And I'm like, what are you doing? What do you mean? I'm ready for a camera. But the other thing is, it's partly my fault as well, because Dorothy would like act a little goofy, like she does. And I was very, very serious. Like, it took the time and effort for me to like come out of my shell. And Dorothy helped with that in a big way. So we both kind of helped one another out. But I definitely had something to do with that. Like, be professional, or like, stop joking around. We're trying to do a video here.
Yes, true. It was hard for you to show that side of you on camera too.
Yeah, the world. I mean, this world has changed. Like, social media's world has changed drastically in 2 years, let alone 10. But for us, like, I was doing videos with like a little digital camera. And then there was no Facebook.
Oh, and can I just say that when Drew started videos, he had a script. He wrote out a script. And he'd be like, hi, I'm Drew. Oh man, we should pull one up because it was so funny. Hi, I'm Drew Tadia from True Form Life. You're a health and wellness expert. I'm here today to talk about how to detox after the New Year's.
Okay, that's enough.
I have 5 tips I'm going to share with you.
We should pull one on.
The first tip is... Am I making you uncomfortable?
It's true, I'm uncomfortable. But, like I was saying, social media is much different now. Like, I feel like that was kind of the norm. And it was like almost expected, which is why I thought you were supposed to do that. But now it's like, grab your phone wherever you're at and flip on a live. Like, when we were starting out, there was no lives, and there was no like, there wasn't like a whole lot of like, for me it was like you had to have lights and a nice camera to be successful in making videos. And now it's just like, grab your phone wherever you're at and hit the live button and you're good.
Well, a lot of phones now have better video in camera than the DSLRs, like the fancy sauce ones.
They're knocking on the door. Thanks again, though, Brie. We appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
What do we got here? Sherry?
She says, you guys are amazing. Aw, thanks, Sherry.
You're amazing, Sherry. Yes.
I feel like we should, like, somehow hold you guys accountable to your words. We should, like, and you guys can hold us accountable, too, to ours. For our, you didn't share a word. Just realize that.
You didn't share a word.
Do you have one or not, really? It's okay if you don't have
I
one.
don't
You
have
can think
one.
about it.
I like that one. Sherry likes that. And then, yeah.
Yes.
Sherry
spelled it how you spelled it, Drew.
That's how you spell it. Nunya. When Jane was like, how do you spell Nunya? I was like, it's made up.
It has no spelling.
I was like, you can spell it however you want. And then I was like, none, N-U-N. Y-A. How did you spell it?
I spelled out the word none. N-O-N-E. Yeah.
That'll work too. My word, it would have to be
But
something.
I kind of like that spelling a bit better because it's just funner.
Funner.
It's more fun. Shalila says, hi guys, Happy New Year. You are awesome.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you want to put your website or link in the comments here, we'd be happy to. We did some entrepreneur nights recently. We always love to support local business, so we're always happy to help. So if you'd like to put in, if anyone's watching that has a business, if you want to throw your business link, your website link, your Facebook link, toss it in there and we'll have a look at it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Thanks for tuning in.
Sherry says, I've got a roll. Love you guys. Way to live out your dream. I will check in soon. Keep living your dreams.
Thanks, Sherry.
Aw, thanks, Sherry.
Have a great day. What's up, Dave?
Dave's in here.
I'm a little worried about his comments when they come on.
Got to get Drew to put some gel on his hair. You got it cut. Did you notice? It's a little shorter.
Easy, Chad. No gel going on over there. See Dorothy's face.
Sometimes you two speak a different language than I do.
Yes, it's true. What time is it? How long have we been on? Almost an hour?
Well, you know, we're on Atlantic time, so we're almost lunchtime.
It is almost lunchtime.
11:30. We're still in New Brunswick, visiting my family. We're here for another week or so, and then we will be heading back to Pacific. We'll be in the Pacific time zone.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
California, here we come.
Oh my God.
California, here we come.
My word.
Right back where we started from. You know that one?
I don't know that one.
See, I'm practicing for my big debut on Broadway.
Thanks, Bree. Oh.
Do you think they would hire like a 40-year-old? I'm not saying I'm 40 yet, but I'm just saying that it'll take me a few years to practice up.
Thanks for your link, Bree.
Anyway,
Appreciate it. We'll have a look.
Drew
I am not ignoring you. I think you should. So you're going to have to put that into action. Like you can't, this is a message to everyone. You can't just say something and then not do anything about it. You know what? So
I got to find like a little community play or something to be in. Oh my gosh, that'd be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? Being like a little community play. Okay, I'll stop. But that's true. But like, even if the big goal is crazy and it's like Broadway, you have to take your little steps to get there.
yeah.
So maybe it's joining a singing group or taking singing lessons. Maybe it's going to a dance recital.
Yeah, so Dorothy was always saying like, oh, something about singing. Like, I'm not a very good singer. Like, she's not. She's better than she thinks she is. Let's just say that. And I was like, well, you should take singing lessons. She's like, why would I do that? I'm like, because you want to be a better singer. So I actually know someone in our running club that was a singer.
So now he's going to make me take singing lessons.
No, well, you know, the thing is, see, this is why people won't like share.
Because it's hard.
They won't share because then there's accountability. So like, I would encourage you guys. You guys are welcome to like send me a message now, next week, next month, and be like, what have you done to?
Oh, I would love that.
So if you
to work towards your
goal, so you could send
goal.
Dorothy a message, be like, what have you done? Because now it's real. Now it's real life where people are like, oh, what if they ask and I have done nothing? Nothing. What's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen.
Nothing's going to happen.
So then you're like, oh, so someone sends you a message. You're like, oh, maybe I should do something. Which is encouraging. It's not like a negative thing. Yeah.
I I just thought of something else, you guys, that I would like to share.
Oh boy. We've opened the floodgates.
Another goal, and it's not as crazy as my first goal, but it's, or dream, I suppose, if you want to
Dave, what's your goal?
But
what's your goal, Dave?
It's still a little crazy. And in 2020, I will do another triathlon. Bam!
In the ocean.
In the ocean. I will.
Dun, dun.
I've been wanting to do it for a couple of years now. In the summer, this past summer, I actually swam in the ocean, which was huge for me. But it's gonna be hard because we did some research, so I kind of know a couple that I could sign up for, and that would work. So I'm gonna have to do that, you guys. So if you guys can send me messages and keep me accountable.
Ask her how her training is going.
How's your training going? Anyway, that's a goal. That's going to happen.
Yeah, just like, oh, you know what I was going to say is that...
Swimming in the ocean is so scary. It's very scary.
Are you done?
I'm done now. Go ahead.
What, you know, there's a number of years ago, there's this big thing that came out about The Secret, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was the law of attraction, which I don't have a problem with. I believe in the law of attraction on different levels. But there was, like, what bothered me about that whole movement is that there was no action steps. Like, there were, like, nothing in that was like, if you work towards this in some way or another, this will happen. It was like, you just manifest everything. Put it out to the universe and it'll come back to you. And I'm like, where's the action steps? Like, you have to, so there's people, like, sitting at home being like, this is going to happen one day. And I'm like, well, what are you doing about it? Oh, nothing. I just put it out there. And I'm like, give your head a shake. And I know that is tough love for some people, but yeah, there has to be some form of action. And I believe, like, if you're willing to make sacrifices and if you're willing to put positive intentions out there, you'll naturally find people to connect you in other areas. But if there's, like, if you want to learn how to sell houses and a realtor is like, keeps knocking on your door every other day and you're not answering the door, you're just sitting there manifesting. I'll get there later. You know, like, you're not gonna reach your goals, for example.
But still, like, manifesting is one of the steps. You have to, like, put that out in the universe. You have to believe that's going to happen. Like, for example, I'm not discounting what you said about the action step because you need to have the action step. I'm just saying you have to, like, do that as well. Like, instead of saying maybe I'll do a triathlon, I'm thinking about doing a triathlon. I am going to do it. Like, you have to manifest that, right?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. I'm saying that there has to be action.
I'm just clarifying.
So now that you've put that out there, now you have clear action steps like we talked about. Like, you're going to swim twice a week, for example. You're going to run whatever. Like, you have your workouts. You have your yoga plan. Like, that's a schedule planned of action. So after you plan the action, you have to take the action steps. And, like, it takes work and it takes time and effort. And, like, I think a lot of people don't want to do that. So they're like, didn't work out.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to set that intention because then I'm going to have to do something. What do we got here?
Well.
Thanks, guys. Link to the website, askhertax.com.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. And what else? We had one more.
Chantel says, yes, Dorothy, you worked so hard towards swimming in the ocean. It was very hard. It's very hard. You know, and you think that each time, my thought was like, each time I go, it's going to get a little easier. It's going to get a little easier. And it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't. I kind of, like, every time I went to, like, it's kind of like this fight with myself or battle with myself because I was still scared. Just because I did it once doesn't mean the fear went away. It's like, oh, I did that. Fear's gone. It was like every time that, like, fear kept coming up over and over and over. And I know it's not over. But I'm hoping that one time I can just run into the ocean and not be scared. Hopefully.
I think it will. Like, I believe it will if you do that. Like we talked about. I loved your story of the bamboo plant.
My story.
But that's the thing. Like, people are like, oh, I'm going to go do this. It's scary or it's frightening. I'm going to go do this. It's scary. It's frightening. And then they're like, I've been doing this for
Pretty easily.
That's right. So the same thing with, remember my radio show?
Yeah.
How painful that was?
Very.
I would not sleep the night before I would do a show because I was so nervous to go and do it, and the show was horrible. But then you get past that and you get good at it. Now it's like I wake up and I just started a new book. And
You did not tell me you started a new book.
I told you.
I don't think you did.
So
maybe I forget.
Well, I finally put up Random Thoughts Volume 1. So we released that to the public. That's up on Amazon now. So I'm excited about that. And that gave me some motivation and inspiration to do another one.
Random Thoughts Volume 2?
Well, I'm working on that too. I read
so this is different?
a podcasting book.
Okay.
I told you about that.
Okay.
Did I?
Nope.
All right. Well, I'll show it to you when we're done. It's only 6 pages in.
Woo! 6 pages is better than no pages.
At any rate, so I wake up and it's easy for me to write something small, like when we do it on social media, you get up and you write. But I didn't like that. So if you keep doing things, like if you keep jumping in the ocean, you're going to get past that and you're going to enjoy it.
I can't wait till I actually like it. Well, it's cold, and one of my good friends, Lindsay, yesterday was like, I can't believe you don't like swimming in the ocean. Like, what's the matter with you? And I was like, well, there's sharks in there, and fish, and it's cold, and like waves like slush you around. They're so powerful. It's scary.
Are you done?
Yeah.
What do you enjoy about it?
About the ocean? See, this is the tricky part because I love being at the beach. Love the beach. I like looking at the water. Just look at the water, so pretty. Sunset on the water.
Sounds
of the waves.
Sounds very nice.
Yeah. I like looking at the sea lions from afar. I don't want them swimming next to me.
Don't want to like wrestle with them.
No. No. Don't want to be close to them. I like watching the dolphins because we do see quite a few dolphins where we live. I like watching them, but like swim, but I don't want them swimming next to me. And it's funny because we did see the dolphins really close to the shore this past summer.
Oh my
Remember
gosh.
how close they were to the shore?
It was like
Drew, you were actually swimming with them pretty much.
I had to get out there. It was so crazy.
It was so close to them.
There was like hundreds of them. Like I could have, if I put in a little bit of effort, I could have like gotten like close enough to touch them.
Is that not scary?
But it was.
Scared.
I couldn't help it. It was like they were right there. There was like hundreds of them, and I was like trying to figure out like what's happening. Everyone was like stopping and like watching. We're taking pictures, and I was like, I got to get out there.
He just jumped in. He's like, "You coming?" I'm like, "Oh no."
I wanted to see like what
watch.
they were. I wanted to see what they were doing. Like,
well, I think there was like a lot of fish must have been close.
that's what we guessed.
That's what we guessed,
like,
but I don't know why they would come so close. But
it was crazy. Like it gives you like an eerie feeling. I don't know. It's like a really weird feeling.
it's like they could have probably come to shore. That's how close they were.
Mm-hmm. But the dolphins are nice and they're friendly. And sometimes they like the sea lions. Sometimes they swim with like surfers or like they.
Yeah. Don't get that close to me.
The dolphin. They're not scared.
They're huge.
They don't do. They don't do anything.
Flopped on you and drowned you. See, crazy brain. This is the crazy brain. They're cute, and I like them, and I don't have anything against them. But don't come close to me, please.
But stay away from me.
You stay on your rock, Mr. Sea Lion. There's actually a sea lion we named Sammy. Sammy the seal.
Oh, Sammy is obnoxious.
And he's very obnoxious. We can hear him from our house, and we're like a block away. But sometimes when we're on our balcony, we can hear him like...
He is lazy. He's the laziest sea lion in the world. and he'll sit under there's tons of fishermen. They fish on the pier, and Sammy will wait for someone to feed him, or he'll steal the fish.
Steal the fish off the line.
The fisherman's fishing rod.
Mm-hmm.
So, he'll sit there on his back, and if you guys seen any of our, like, every once in a while I post it on Instagram or Facebook on the stories.
Don't be a Sammy the Seal.
No, I just say check out Sammy the Seal, and he's just loud. He's like barks like arr, arr. And it's like constant sometimes. Like he'll go through like 10-minute stretches, and you're like, Sammy, that's enough. And then the tourists, they come and feed the animals, and we're like, where have you not heard you're not supposed to feed the wildlife? Like,
don't be judgy.
Did I feed them?
No. You didn't feed them. I'm just saying, like, they just don't know, right? Like, they think it's cool to feed them.
You don't feed wildlife.
Like, I know, but like they don't, or else they wouldn't do it.
I don't.
Anyway, but recently they put up signs like, "Please don't feed the."
They said there's gonna be a fine. They should enforce it. I'm just like I like animals. Like I'm very environmentally conscious. Like
because of the animals. Yeah.
Animal conscious, and like if people continue to feed Sammy, he'll lose the ability to be able to feed himself. And then if something happens to the pier, if everyone disappears, like who knows what could happen, then Sammy, just because people wanted to feed him, won't survive. Mm. And I'm like, it's selfish to be like, I would just want to feed that sea lion.
But have you ever thought that maybe they don't know?
I don't know. I think you should know. I think it's
you
common knowledge. What do we got? What did you say? I don't know. Chantel says...
Ocean animals get bored too.
I don't know if thank you guys for the hearts. If you guys are watching and enjoying, hit that hearts button. We got 142.
Our record is 2,000, you guys. Just letting you know.
If anyone's watching and hasn't said anything yet, we'd love to hear from you. You're welcome to let us know in the comments. Or if you're watching a replay, let us know you're watching a replay.
So did you figure out your word yet?
My word's got to be something to do with TV. Oh, hey, Sue.
Hey, Sue.
I'll think of one. So I would you guys are more than welcome to, the thing is, like, we're personal people. So when we reach out to people, it's because we genuinely care. We're like, hey, how you doing? We had, our membership was on sale, like it's usually $99 a month, and it was $10 a month this month for January. So I reached out to a few people like, hey, did you know that our membership is only $10? And I thought, for me, it's not like, oh, we can make another sale. Like, $10 isn't going to change your life. But to be in a supportive group for a membership, maybe that will offer some inspiration and actually help some people in the new year. So for us, we often send personal messages just to see how people are doing. So what I'm getting at here is if you want to send myself or Dorothy a message today, tomorrow, in a couple months, and be like, hey, I remember that show we talked about you're working towards. How's that going? Mm-hmm. We would appreciate that.
You know what I find kind of sad is that we're so used to being bombarded with sales messages that a lot of times when Drew and I send a message, we're personal people, we actually care. When we send a message, it's not to say something, right? But a lot of times people, because we're so used to being sales pitched to, if that makes sense. Sold to. Then that's what people think that we're doing, right?
They don't answer.
They don't answer.
Don't really want to have
because you're scared. You're like, don't tell to me, right?
Yeah.
Then a lot of people find it difficult to just say no, right? And so it's easier just not to answer. But a lot of times we just say, if you're not interested, that's okay. We just wanted to let you know, right?
You know, one of the best things that you could do for a business or someone trying to sell you something, if you're not interested, is tell them. It's the best thing that you can do. And so we were in Vegas recently, and do you want to tell them about the timeshare?
Oh, you tell it. You're better at telling that one.
Well, we were in Vegas, and they sell timeshares, and they always try to upsell you. There's shows here and there, so we have a timeshare. Our family has a timeshare. We have one together, so we don't need one. And this lady's oh, come on over here. like she's been selling for years, like the stereotypical like yak, don't listen, like she talks at you,
Sell.
like very uncomfortable, like all she was doing was trying to sell. And if you guys have been to Vegas, you know that you can go and sit in these things, you get something free, but they're obnoxious and they're rude and they try to get you to sell or buy something by any means. And like we're not going to sit through that. That's just like I don't care what they're giving away
like
for free.
For us, our time is more valuable than those free tickets, you know?
So she's like, oh, come on. So we check into our timeshare. We're at our hotel. And then there's another concierge service. And she's like, oh, come on over here, guys. I got a great deal for you. Come on and check in over here. Here's a free ticket. This is it for the draw, blah, blah, blah. Like, and she's literally talking faster than you can comprehend. And she's like, you guys like lobster? You guys like lobster? Like, no. Or what was it? Crab legs?
No, she said at first something about a roast beef dinner or something, or ribs or...
Oh, ribs.
And we're like, oh, we don't eat that. Sorry. Oh, and then she's like, oh, well, what about lobster? What about this? What about that? And I can get you this show tonight. I could get you this show for free tonight. And then that's when you said...
Oh, she like finally like took a breath. And I was like, is this for those meetings upstairs? And she's like, yeah. She's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, I don't want to waste your time. And I said, we just don't, like, that's...
We're not interested.
Not something we're interested in. And she was like, oh.
Why?
She's like, oh. She's like, why? She's like, it's free. And I was like, we're just not interested. And she was like, okay. And then she, like, kind of, like, gathered herself because I could imagine it happens very seldomly that someone says, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
But here's the thing is that you stop wasting her time. She can go and sell to someone else. Mm-hmm. And you stop wasting your own time because you're not like standing there listening like...
Knowing that you're not going to do it.
Right. So what I'm saying here is like if you're talking to someone that is like trying to sell you something, or if you know, like I think many times you see it often in like different selling genres. And I say that politically correct. Many times people only reach out to you because they want to sell something. Or like, I've had friends that I haven't talked to in years, and we're like, hey, how you doing? Good. I just want to tell you about this brand new business I'm selling. Brand new products I'm selling. Check these out. And I'm like, I haven't talked to you in years.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, what I'm saying is that if you know that you're not going to buy from them, or if you're not interested in the product at that time, you could tell them I'm not interested. And that will free up time for them so they won't keep messaging you or bothering you. Or you could say, like, you can check in with me another time, or you could say, I'm probably not going to buy that ever, to be honest with you. So I just think it's so much more beneficial for both sides. So at any rate, that was my message, is that like even for us, like if we're like, hey, like how you doing? Like most cases we genuinely care, and like this might be something you're interested in, because we wouldn't sell or develop or distribute a product that we didn't believe in. Like, so if someone's like, oh, I've been having trouble with digestion. Like, hey, I noticed you've been having trouble with digestion. Did you know that Digest really helps? Mm-hmm. Did you know that Complete Truth Protein really helps with digestion? And then you could be like, oh, I'm never going to make a smoothie in my life. Like, so you don't need to message me about protein anymore. Like, okay, like, great. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So now, like, we don't have to, like, waste each other's time. Mm-hmm. Is that a good way to get that message across?
Good way. You did good, Joe.
Sometimes I'm not great at explaining things.
You did a great job. Sue says, oh, you guys are so difficult to deal with. Not.
Thanks, Sue.
Thanks, Sue.
Yeah, you guys know us and who we are. Like, I think it's more like there's a good base of people that we work with and deal with and know us on a regular basis. It's the newer people that don't really know you, or it's never worked with us before, and they're used to like being like sold, or like used to being like people that only want to like make a sale. That's their only concern. So often, like, we might message or like won't get a response from someone that might be a bit newer, and they're like, I don't want to talk to this person. They have a business. They might try to sell me something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you guys have any goals or anything, early on in the show, there might be some of you coming in and out or watching the replay. And if you didn't get a chance to see at the beginning, Dorothy and I shared some big goals that we're working towards. Mm-hmm. If you want to leave those in the comments, you're welcome to. If you don't, if you feel more comfortable sharing that with us in a personal message, we would love to hear.
Mm-hmm. Some people just shared like a word that is going to be their focus for the year. Chantal said happiness. Sherry said tenacious and tenacity. And Allie shared, it wasn't evolve, transform.
Dave shared gel.
Gel.
He's going to wear more gel this year.
That's his goal.
I'm just kidding.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that's it, guys. I think we'll let you go. Get on with your day. Happy Friday.
Yeah, it's exciting.
First weekend of the new year.
We would like to start a detox group.
Oh, yeah.
That might be fun. I don't know if there's enough people, like, excited about it. I'm not sure why. I just don't feel like...
You're not feeling the excitement.
Not feeling it. We put up some, like, sometimes we put up, like, random posts, like, who wants to detox or what type of detox. But they usually go really well this time. Just for some reason, I don't feel like excitement. So if you are interested in the detox, let us know in the comments or shoot us a message. Private message is fine. But that's all we have.
We really like to do our detoxes. And it's really, our detoxes aren't like 7-day juice cleanse, drop 10 pounds. Like, you guys, a lot of you probably know that because you've been with us for so long, but ours is really focused on the sustainable lifestyle changes, right? What can you add to your life so that you can live a detoxed life instead of just those crash courses, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sue says decluttering is her word.
Ooh, that's a good one. And I find, like, physically decluttering your home.
It's emotionally decluttering.
Gotcha. Yeah, you caught it before I said it. It's emotionally decluttering too. Oh, I was going to give you the little.
That's the Will Smith one. Do you guys know the Fresh Prince?
And then Chantel says, have a great weekend. I can't read the whole message. Have a great day, Chantel says. And then she says, I'm interested after I finish all my candy. Okay, Sue.
Sue, you cracked me up.
Well, Shelly's in here.
Hey, Shelly.
Would like to, but I'm leaving for Sri Lanka on the 13th. Ooh, awesome. That's so much fun. I miss Sri Lanka.
I think Jen's husband is from Sri Lanka.
Oh, okay.
I actually had, like, not too long ago, I had, like, a feeling of, like, I'd like to go back.
Yeah. We love Sri Lanka.
Awesome. You have to let us know how it goes, Shelly.
Yes, I'd love to follow along, Shelly. How it's going.
Was there one more?
Yeah, Sue said, doing my whole life. Oh, decluttering. I think that's what she was saying. Doing my whole life. Good for you. Keep us updated.
Keep it rocking. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you are interested in a detox, shoot us a message. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes, like, we'll launch it. Like, we'll say, hey, we're doing it on this date. If you'd like to join us. If we don't have enough people, then we won't do it. But I don't think it happens very rare when we don't. Mm-hmm. But we usually put out those feelers first to see if people are interested. I haven't got too much feedback. So, at any rate, we'll put up posts and let you know. But if you are interested, for sure, let us know, and we will put you on the short list. Or
if there's something else that, like, oh, I'm not really interested in a detox, but I would like maybe a 10-day fitness routine or challenge or something like that we're not really thinking of, then maybe you could let us know, because we're always open to new ideas.
Yeah.
So,
have a great weekend.
The end.
It's time to close. Our Broadway star.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
I am a fucker.
You're like Sammy the Seal. Maybe that could be your first Broadway. All right, guys.
That would be my audition. I
make
a great Sammy the Seal impression.
Oh, we got Joey from Friends over here. My word is going to be Joey. I'm going to call you that all year.
Okay. Alright guys, we're just getting silly now. Happy Friday, have a great weekend, and we are excited to start a new year with everyone.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Bye guys.